What's up, guys? It's Ruth with Support System Soundcheck presents Next Step. What's up, guys? It's Ruth here with Next Step, and here we are with...
What's up? It's Logan here, playing drums for Social Cinema from Wichita, Kansas.
Nice to meet you, Logan.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
No problem. All right, so looking back, was there a specific show or moment when you felt the band was more than just making music, that it had become a part of your identity? What made that moment like crystal clear for you?
There's like some specific shows that I can kind of like point to in like each era of the band, but like I think the first one was an old Kill Vargas show from like 2016, and we had booked ourselves at the Donut Hole. And it was the first time we had booked a gig ourselves with no like promoter help or no like festival help or anything. We just kind of booked the show ourselves, and I remember it like hit capacity like twice over. There were like kids outside trying to get in, and that's when it was kind of like, oh, this is more than just like a fun thing for me and my friends. Like there's more people here than I could even know. And that's when it was kind of like, okay, let's start pointing in that direction. Like, you know, we can start throwing real shows and like, you know, playing for more than just like the friends directly around us. So that was kind of the first show where we kind of like changed our attitude on it.
This is real.
Yeah, it was kind of like, oh shit, yeah.
We got real supporters. How has your sense of identity evolved from your time as Kill Vargas into Social Cinema, not just musically, but also personally and philosophically?
I think that there's like a difference between doing it like as an adult than as a kid. I think Kill Vargas was much more like discovering what it even is and like figuring things out, and like it didn't really matter. It was about, you know, having fun because you're just a kid. And now it's kind of like there's different things about it where we can take it a little more serious, and other people will take it more serious. And there was like an innocence to the first band where it's like, oh, that's kind of cute. Look how young they are. Like, I bet they'll be good when they're in their 20s. And now it's like we're in our 20s, so there's nothing to like hide behind, or there's no like shock value of being a young band anymore. So it is just us and our music, and we kind of, so there's like a new level of like, yo, we're just a band now. It's not like a little, it's not, we don't have the aid of like being a young band. It's like we kind of have to just rely on the hard work and like our planning, and it's, and like, I don't know, philosophically, it's like means a little more because like it's not a hobby. It's like a thing we're trying to stick to now. So it's like there's more meaning behind it now as an adult.
Your sound blends underground DIY roots with polished indie pop hooks. How do you balance staying true to where you came from with exploring a new direction? Like, what risks have you taken in shaping your new current sound?
I think like the DIY like background stuff remains in like the work ethic of the band. Like the way we worked back then, all on our own with no expectation, is still the same. It's just like we make different music now, but we still come from Kansas, and like our peers around us, there wasn't any like idea of like, oh, we're gonna be famous, or like we could be rock stars someday. It was just kind of like everyone around does it because they love it and because they want to keep doing it. There's no like expectation like there would be if you're in LA or like Chicago or New York. And I feel like that attitude that we came from kind of like followed us into this band, where it's like there's no expectation of anything. We're just we like to do it, and we like to play, and like, you know,
and people love that.
Yeah, and like it's like a genuine like like enjoyment of what we're doing. There's no like we need to get here by this point, or like we need to get this much plays or whatever. It's really like deep down is a very like passionate thing,
and it's beautiful to be able to do it your way.
Yeah, and like that's really important to us, is making sure that we're being very true to ourselves, because that's kind of like all the bands have from this area. We don't have like a big industry or like a bunch of nice clubs or like promoters or big festivals. It's kind of like you just have like what you and your friends started. But I like that. I like, not looking to the trends or like looking to like, well, these bands are doing this and it seems like that's successful. It's like, well, we're not from there. We're from Kansas. So it's just the story's a little different. But I think it makes these kind of bands unique.
Yes, that's beautiful. What are some unexpected or non-musical influences like books, films, events, or even places that you feel seeped into the recent songwriting and the performance that you do?
We definitely like are like stylistically like in our fashion is influenced by other bands that we see. Not like, oh, we need to dress like them, but just going and opening for bands who do have a look and they have their own style. That's something that we are influenced by. Not necessarily on the nose, like this band wears Converse, so let's wear Converse, but it's like this band has a thing that they do that looks like them, so we should find what that is. Mm-hmm. And I know Griffin watched a lot of like old films to get some inspiration for our latest music video, because it's like a black and white, older looking style of video. And like, I don't know, I'll read books and stuff about bands and like or like I've been reading a book about Black Flag and they're this 80s punk band, and just seeing how those guys had to do stuff back then, like you got to find a payphone to call the venue to see if the show's even on. Like reading that kind of gets me like, okay, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like it could be way worse, and it kind of inspires me to like keep pushing or,
Sky's the limit with the opportunities that we have now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, trying to keep perspective of like, things are harder now in ways because of the internet and everyone can put out music, but back then you couldn't just put out music. So it's like there's both sides of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, we take influence from a lot of stuff, and most of it is like non-musical, like, which is kind of cool. I like that.
Right, yeah. You make it your own thing.
Yeah.
When you decided to change your name and redefine the band mid-journey, what internal challenges did you find emotionally and creatively?
Emotionally, at first it was like kind of scary, because if you had told us, the whole reason we changed the band was because of the lockdowns and taking a couple years off of shows, which was literally not allowed in Kill Vargas. We didn't believe in not playing. We didn't believe in that. You just play. And so it kind of like threw us off that plan of like, that's what Kill Vargas was known for, I think, is like those guys are constantly doing things all the time. And then that just became not what it was. And we kind of had to be like, okay, well then who are we then? Are we just like, are we only a band if we're out on the road?
Do you feel like that kind of instilled a little bit of a fear into what you were doing?
Yeah, or like it's like, oh wait, we need to relook at this, and we were so locked into what we were doing that you don't even take that time to think about it. And that gave us the time to really like look at the band instead of just push the band, because it was just go, 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 don't even think about it, just go. And that kind of stopped us and was like, wait, and we started Kill Vargas when we were 13, and not very many 24-year-olds are still pushing something they started when they were 13. So we were kind of growing out of the original idea, and then by the end of Kill Vargas, it was almost like had looped into a totally different thing. And so we were kind of like, should we drag our old band out of the grave after 3 years off of shows, or should we just start it over? And it felt like starting over anyway, just because of how Kill Vargas was. It was like 2 months off of shows for us was like an incredibly long time. So it felt like we started a new band, but it was a good decision. And like, it was scary at first because a lot of our fans were like, what are you doing? Until they saw us play, and then it was like, oh, I get what you're doing. And now people don't even think about the old band anymore.
So you feel like you still have that same support system and some.
Yeah, that's the only way we were able to start how we did. It was kind of like we pretended to be a small band again at first. It was like we would leave our name off of the flyers, and we would make sure we opened the shows, because Kill Vargas was like headlining everything we did by the end. And we kind of were like, what if we really started over and opened our friend shows and like would do secret performances, and like that was all left over from the Kill Vargas like era. That was like the platform to start the next thing. So like definitely different bands, but come from the same place, which that was the challenge, where it was like, okay, we built this whole fan base and now we have to go be like, hey, we're not doing that anymore, we're gonna do this, which was scary, but I think it's better, so it worked out. And like we try harder and like we're smarter about how we're operating.
That's awesome. So you took what you learned from there and then added it to the new plan,
yeah.
the new system. Yeah.
And it kind of like in hindsight is like, oh, that's what Kill Vargas was about. It was like, that was a learning thing where we learned how to be a band, and now we're like being that band. But when you're 19 at the time, you don't, everything's just right in front of you. You don't even think about next year. So yeah, it's cool that that ended up being the story arc. Because if you told me I was not going to be in Kill Vargas when I was 21, I'd been like, yes, I am, and I'm never leaving. I'm never going to leave.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just the way life works, and it's kind of like go with the flow, which is like the new, no expectations, like just go with how it works, but keep working so things come to you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Has been a significant failure or disappointment in your path so far, something that did not work out as you hoped? How did that force you to rethink what you want out of your art?
I think everyone in the band has their own like personal little things here and there, but like operation wise, I remember a Kill Vargas tour that we went on for like 3 weeks, and it was like horrible. Like it was too ambitious. We booked too many shows. This was when we were like 19. Yeah. And like just were underprepared and like kind of like, yeah, it'll work out. And that was kind of like, it'll be fine. And it was not. We made no money. We played to nobody. Our van got an insect infestation. We were like getting shows canceled. And when I got home from that tour, I was like, all right, I'm never letting that happen again. I don't care what it is. Like, I don't care if we don't play anymore, we're not doing that. And then ever since that, we went on that horrible tour. We've never had a tour like that again, to where I'm like, you know, it changed my booking style, and like kind of like, yo, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna have to do it. We can't like expect other people to care about an indie band that we started. Like, it sounds harsh, but it's like no one's gonna care more than you guys, so, or your own band. So that was like that. It was a good lesson, but we needed to play a bunch of bad shows to like learn that and be like, oh, people aren't just gonna come see us because we put out cool music and we dress cool. Like, we're gonna have to go out door-to-door salesmen and then do it right and plan it and make sure we have good support bands and make sure we are nice and good to work with, and we show up on time, and we, you know, we're not late and bumming around, and you know, just that was like a moment where it's like, if we're gonna do this, it has to be serious. It can't be like just for fun, or it's not gonna be fun. It's got to be pro, like at this. That's kind of, you know, go all out in our opinion.
Okay, so I know you guys are on tour right now. Is there any specific food spots that you like to stop at whenever you go to certain places, or what can you tell me about?
The one that sticks out the most is from like 7 years ago. Kill Vargas went to Portland, and we played with this band, and one of those guys worked at a pizza shop that was like nationally ranked. I can't remember the name, but it was to this day the best pizza that we've ever had.
In Portland?
Yeah, and he like hooked us up, and like, and there, he was like, yeah, no, like you have to call in to get this pizza, but he like had the hookup, so we got it. And like to this day. And then there was another tour we went on, and we were in New York, and we went to a Taco Bell, and for some reason this Taco Bell was like
the best.
It was like the commercials where it's like perfectly like, I'm like, how are they doing that?
Yeah.
Like that,
it
and
actually looked like the commercial
yeah, and
food.
it was like one of those with a bar in it. So we were like, what the hell is this? And it was open all night, and I remember that one too. But like, I don't know, like we're not like, we don't know much about food, but we like enjoy it. Like, but at the same time, you're on the road, you
Kinda
can't
have to just eat what you
yeah,
can
you can't
when
really
you
be
can,
balling
yeah.
out too much. But no, we definitely like that's a fun part of it, and that's a perk of it is you get to go eat other places and like experience other things. But yeah, those food stories stick out to me, I think.
Yeah. You're the drummer, obviously.
Yep.
Who else is part of the band? Who does what? Who's in charge of what?
I do drums and then do all the show booking and like day-to-day management stuff. Griffin is the singer and plays guitar and writes all the music, like all of it. He writes the drums, he writes the keys, he writes the bass, and kind of just like that's his section is the music. And then Mari plays keyboard and guitar and sings sometimes, and she does all of our graphic design and like our vinyl artwork and our t-shirts and flyers and posters. Austin plays bass and does all of our video content. Like he'll make music videos, help edit music videos or promo videos. And then Reed is our guitarist and he helps with like the money bank account management stuff. So everyone kind of brings their own like skill to the band. That way we don't have to like sign to a label for help or like hire people to like do things for us because we're from Kansas, you don't have that kind of money.
And that's also awesome. That's a dream team because you know how hard it is to find just one or two people that you can trust like that are reliable. When you got a whole team that is just everyone's doing their part, everyone's communicating and working well together. And maybe it's not like that all the time, but for the most part, you guys have been together this long. I mean, there's some success in that.
Mm-hmm. And like, yeah, it's like you have to trust each other that each part is going to get done because like I can't write a song to save my life, so I just have to trust that Griffin's going to have songs. But Griffin can't book a show; he literally doesn't know how. So he has to trust that when he writes these songs, I'm going to be able to book the show, and that Mari's going to be able to come up with the concept that fits the music perfect, and then we'll be able to have a video that Austin, can help put together with all the money that Reed is helping us save. Like
that's
it's
amazing.
all like
that's a lot of work.
It all like crosses. But if everyone's doing it and we all trust each other that we're all doing it, then all I have to worry about is booking the shows.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about if art's going to get done or if Griffin's going to have songs. And Griffin just has to write the songs, and he knows that there's going to be shows booked and everything's going to be, But it's trust, and like it's also like showing your work. Like, we all know each other long enough now that we do our work, and everyone's passionate and wants this to work. So it's just going for it. It's not really like, is everyone still down to do this? We already know.
Everyone's playing their role.
Yeah,
everyone's
like,
doing it when they need to be doing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now it's a system where we kind of like know what happens when we do a tour, what happens when you do an album, or like we have operations, but we're constantly, every tour, every album or anything, it's like looking back and being like, okay, what did we miss? What could we have done that we didn't do? Or what did we do that didn't work at all? And like, just keep tightening everything up.
That's amazing. Fan questions here. When you write now, who are you writing for? Yourself, your fans, or the future? Or how often does that intention shape the song in ways that you did not expect?
I think it's always for ourselves, like first, mainly because like that's where it starts. Like it's just us five when we come up with an album. It's, and that has to be first if we like the songs and we feel like that's the direction of the band. And we love showing people and we love that people enjoy the music, but like, I don't think we've ever written a song and been like, oh, people are gonna like this one. It's always just kind of, we like it, it goes on the album. Picking singles and stuff is a little different because then you can kind of get into like, oh, which of these songs do we think would resonate more for whatever reason. But the writing of it, none of that comes into it. Like it's just, do we like it? Is it pushing us where we want to go? And then like, once all that's done, then it's cool to see what people relates to it. Yeah, definitely.
Question from someone else that says, if you had total freedom, no time constraints, no commercial pressure, unlimited resources, what would be the next social cinema project? Like how far outside of your current boundaries would you push?
That's a good question.
That's a big question.
Because like that's not really something you like. What would we do if we had unlimited?
Yeah, it's like you just when you're there, you're there.
I don't know. I think I don't know if we would do anything different. We love what we're doing. Like, we love playing shows and touring. And if we had unlimited whatever, we would try and play unlimited shows. I don't know. I think that we would just continue to do what we're doing, and we don't really think about that. It's like different. Like money and stuff, or like success and all that, is like a different part of it.
And right now you're at a place where you have more control and more say on what you're able to do. So anything like beyond that is like, okay, well, we can still be us right now.
Yeah, definitely. And we're very like realistic with how we think about stuff, and like try and be as real as possible, and like work from where we're actually at, instead of like, man, I wish we had this. If we had this, we could do this. It's like, well, we don't have that. So let's not think about that. Let's think about where we're at, and that's the only way that this band moves, is if we work from this band and not like this, well, if we had this or we had that. Because you can always get this or get that, but the work ethic is what actually is pushing it. Like, yeah, no, that's a good question. It's hard to answer, because it's like, I don't think that much would change. I think it would just be like, let's keep pushing.
Yeah. Okay, one more question. A decade from now, what do you want people to say about your impact in your community, in your genre, or among those who have followed you closely? What do you hope stays when everything else fades?
I don't really know, because it's hard to like even now be like, what do people think of us? But like, I would hope that they would look at us and be like, I hope our work ethic comes off overall more than anything, of like, whatever people think or feel about the music, it's undeniable that we're working hard at it. That's all. Because not everyone's gonna love the music or love the look or like how we do it, but like, that would be like, if we can at least be a band where you look at us and you're like, those guys at least are working hard, like they're going for it. That's, I think, is like, for me personally, is what I would like to give that vibe off of. And like that, no expectations, we're just doing it because we like it and like enjoy connecting and making music.
That's what you want to leave with people.
Yeah, definitely. Like that this was, we're not here for any reason other than to be right here.
Yes.
That's it. Like,
love that. So is there anything that you want to add, anything you want to tell the fans, your supporters, from all these years that have been following you?
We're gonna put out our first album called Don't Get Lost, and it comes out October 2nd, and then we leave for the whole month of October on a tour with a band called SEGO from LA. And there is a Wichita show on that tour. I think it's October 14th at Wave, and it's Social Cinema, SEGO, and TF Bundy. And you can order our vinyl now and get it now before it is on streaming in October. So if you order it from our website now, we just ship it, and so you can hear it before it's out. So
we will be there October 14th, right?
Sweet, yep.
The Wichita one?
Tuesday, October 14th. It's a weekday, but weekday rockin' in Wichita.
That's the best time to go and do things, I think. Okay, again, it's your girl Ruth. Thank you for stopping by Next Step. Logan, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And catch us on that next one.